We are going to next look at how we can use Desmos to help us fill in a table. And so on page 22, or 21, there were some steps here to look at doing this table. And we could do y equals 24x and help us fill in this table. But let's look at this again. Or perhaps for the first time here. And so we have the following equation models the percent of total music sales that were from digital downloads between 2008 and 2015, with Y is the years since 2008. So we know that the output variable is the equals part. It's also on the right-hand side or the ending column of this table. The input variable is our years, and we know the years are since 2008. I should go back. P is the percentage of music sales from digital downloads. And so we want to use Desmos to help us with this. And I'm going to split my screen here so that you can see both. So hold on for just a moment. Okay, so now we have this split screen, so you can see Desmos, and again, you can just go to the Desmos calculator, or if you're using your phone app, you can use the graphing app. And so we want to put in line one the equation, and if you recall, Desmos only understands X's and Y's, at least for now, in terms of our inputs and outputs. So we want to do Y equals in line one, 6.8x plus 24.15. We actually don't care about the graph right now, so I'm actually going to extend this so we can see more of the line window or the operation window than what we are doing in terms of the graph. And so we know, so when we have in line one, if we want to find the input value, well, actually, we want to find the output value first. And we want to do that by having in line one this equation. And then we want to go to the gear and we want to make a table. And so we create this table. And now we have a table and we can type in the input values that we know. So we know 0. We also know 2.5. So if I just go to the next line, change that to 2.5. And then I also know 7. I can get rid of the 1 and the 2 if I want to, or I can just leave it alone. So I know that, and the funny thing about editing in a table is sometimes it doesn't let me write right in the table without messing up. So we're going to try this. 24.15 and then 2.5, 41.15, and in 7 we have 71.75. Again, we went to find these, we put in line 1, and that's the line 1 that we have here, and then we gear and then create table. Okay, now this time we want to find the inputs, and so this time we can't put in inputs, or we can't put in outputs to give us an input. So we need to do something else. And we know that these outputs are represented by 45.5 and 61. And so we know that the output, in this case, according to Desmos, is going to be Y. So in line 3 now, or we could go back to line 2, we could get rid of this one, or in line 3, we just keep adding lines. We're going to do the output, which is in Desmos Y, and that equals 45.5. And now we want to see the graph. And so little hint here, see this little zoom fit or zoom data? So if I click on this, it will actually create a graph of this table right here. So that's kind of a nice thing to have a table. And so if I hit the zoom fit, it gives us a nice little picture of our graph here. And then the y equals 45.5, that's our purple line. And you see very faintly this little dot that's not quite highlighted, or it's highlighted but not solid. So I just click on that, and now it'll hold my value. And I know that my input value, if I have an output of 45.5, my input value is going to be 31 or 3 point, and I'm just going to round that 1,4. And then we're going to do the same thing, except now y is going to be 61, so I can just change my 45.5. And essentially, I'm moving up my graph up to 61. So now I'm intersecting at y equals 61. And my ordered pair there is 5.49 or 5.42. And now I have some ordered pairs or filled in the table so I can go ahead and graph that. So that's how we can use Desmos to help us um, use or to fill in a table using Desmos. And again, it's just going to take us some practice doing that. So I'm going to make this, oops, did not want to do that. Let's make it big. Okay. And then, so again, for our graph, we want to know that the input is going to be y equals years since 2008. And again, we're back to y in terms of the table as our input. And then P is the percentage of downloads of total sales. And we can now create a good scale. So we have to go from 0 to 7. So, of course, this is 0, 0, and then maybe, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if I count by halves, I can get all the way up to 7. And then I need to go from 24 to 71. And again, I can skip some lines and start with maybe 20. So if I do that, I'm going to have a break in the graph. I'm going to start at, let's see, if we start at 20, 25, 30, 35, there's 40, 45, 50, 55, there's 60, 65, 70, and then 75. And then we can plot those points. We want to know whether or not this relation is discrete or continuous. And this is going to be continuous. So we would connect the points because the years can be partial or fractional, as well as a part of a percent.